Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring fictional characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is made possible by my Patreon supporters, and it's dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. All of you are the reason I do this, so thank you. It's time to return to the grim dark future of Warhammer 40k and into the dark city of Kimura, home of the Drukhari. Today we're building the infamous witch cults. Hidden within the webway for a millennium, the Dark Eldar have evolved to be a race that feeds on pain. Literally feeds on pain. When not committing raids on real space, the vicious people turn to the horrifying witch cults to provide them with the torment they desire. The witch cults are gladiators of unmatched skill with blades and speed. In battle, they dance about the carnage wielding wicked weapons. These weapons include swords, poisonous whips, nets, spears, tridents, daggers, spiked gauntlets, sword whips, and even barbed hooks tied to their hair. Hell, some of them even coat their fingernails and toenails in metal and make them razor sharp. Seriously, if there is a way to kill someone in combat, they've mastered it and found a way to make it more brutal and gruesome. Not the nicest of people, but they're Drukhari, so that goes without saying. Still, they are kinda nicer than the Covens. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Monsters of the Multiverse. We're using standard port array to keep things simple, and we are multi-classing, so keep an eye on those minimums if you use another system. We're going to start things off with Dex at 15. Remember when I said they dance during battle? Not a joke, they do that. Nimble bastards. Con comes in at 14. You wear no armor and are generally considered to be the most physical, imposing of your people. Wisdom flies in with 13. Stat minimum if I'm being honest, but you have amazing senses. Not going to raise it much higher though, because your whole race has impulse control issues, which is kind of an understatement. Charisma drops in at 12. You are a killer that performs. No one's gonna watch you if you just cut people without a show. Strength will be low at the 10, and we have to drop intelligence. We'll fix intelligence later because it shouldn't be low, but strength is not important. Drukhari are evil space elves, so we need an elf lineage. Drow would be interesting, but not the right field. They feed on emotions and live in a dark dimension. Shatterkai, found in Monsters of the Multiverse, will work pretty well. Place +2 into con and +1 into dex. Blessing of the Raven Queen lets you move with blinding speed. With a bonus action, you can teleport 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus between long rests. Dark Vision lets you see in dim light out to 60 feet as if it's bright light, and darkness as if it is dim light. Fey Ancestry gives you advantage on saving throws to avoid or end being charmed. Keen Senses gives you the skill Perception. Necrotic Resistance grants you resistance to necrotic damage. Trance makes your long rest 4 hours long and means you can't be put to sleep magically. When you finish your long rest, you can choose 2 proficiencies you do not have. Until you finish your next long rest, you have these proficiencies. These can be weapon or tool proficiencies. To end out your lineage, you can speak common in one other language. I would take Elven. For background, we need the skills Intimidation and Performance. For your bonus proficiencies, I would take some tool proficiencies to make and maintain weapons, but that's up to you. Choose 2 regardless. Level 1 fighters start off with 2 skills, grab acrobatics and athletics. You are proficient in all weapons, armor, shields, and you have proficiency in the saving throw, strength, and con. Fighting style improves your fighting with a chosen style. I hate trying to come up with something to say for something so self-explanatory. All witches use 2 weapons in combat, so we're taking 2 weapon fighting. This lets you add your damage to a second weapon that you are using in your offhand. Remember, anyone can fight with 2 weapons, but they must be light and can't gain your damage modifier to the second weapon. Second Wind lets you feed on the pain you cause in battle and heal yourself 1d10 plus your fighter level once per short or long rest. That's actually something they can do. Level 1 monks begin with unarmored defense. Now when not wearing armor, which you don't wear any, your AC is 10 plus dex plus wisdom. You don't wear armor. Why? Because lesser warriors will see this and think these are weak points and go for them. And then you will just pivot and take their heads off. Witch cult philosophy. Martial arts improves your combat abilities when you're not wearing armor. Now when not wearing armor, attacks with your unarmed strikes or monk weapons, which are simple melee weapons, can use your dex for attack and damage. You can make an unarmed strike with a bonus action after taking the attack action, and your unarmed strikes can now use a martial arts dice for damage, which is a d4. Level 2 monks gain dedicated weapon. Now any weapon that you are proficient with can become a monk weapon, meaning you'll be able to use dex for attack and damage. Hey look, you're proficient in all weapons. At the end of a long rest, you choose one weapon that lacks the heavy or special properties that you have proficiency with, and now it is a monk weapon until you finish your next long rest. Unarmored movement increases your movement speed when not wearing armor, bringing it up to 40 feet. Ki grants you ki points that equal your monk level that you can spend on special moves. You get all these used ki points back after a 30-minute rest, and we're actually done with monks, so you'll only ever have 2. First 2 levels of monk give us everything we need for Witch. For the special moves, Flurry of Blows lets you make 2 unarmed strikes with a bonus action after you take the attack action for 1 ki point. Patient Defense turns dodge into a bonus action for 1 ki point. This means all attacks against you are going to be at disadvantage until the start of your next turn, and dex saves are at advantage for you. Step of the Wind turns dash or disengage into a bonus action and doubles your jump distance. You've reached character level 3, and your Blessing of the Raven Queen is enhanced. You now gain resistance to all damage after teleporting. This lasts until the start of your next turn. Level 2 fighters receive Action Surge. You can now give yourself an adrenaline rush, granting you a free action once per short or long rest. Level 3 fighters now have their subclass, and it's time for the slowest burn subclass of all time. Champion from the Player's Handbook is so basic, it should actually just be part of standard fighter kit. Improved critical means you score critical hits on a 19 or 20. Your character level 5 now bump up all your proficiencies with your new +3 proficiency bonus. Level 4 fighters earn our first ability score improvement, and we need a little feat. Dual Wield from the Player's Handbook is the one feat every 2 weapon fighter really needs. You now can wield 2 weapons at the same time that aren't light, you can draw or stow them with the same action, and when wielding 2 weapons at the same time you gain +1 to your AC. Level 5 fighters finally earn extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. Level 6 fighters earn another ability score improvement, bump up dex for better attack, damage, and AC. Level 7 champion fighters are remarkable athletes. You can now add half your proficiency bonus to any strength, dex, or con check you make that doesn't already have it. You know, like initiative. You can also increase your running long jump distance and feet equal to your strength modifier, which is 0. But you can already double it, so who cares? Your character level 9 now, raise your proficiency bonus to +4. Level 8 fighters earn another ability score improvement, cap off dex. Level 9 fighters gain Indomitable. You can now reroll 1 failed saving throw once per long rest. Level 10 champion fighters receive a second fighting style. I'm not going to pick anything here because with the exception of defense and protection, they all work for you, so customize your witch how you want to. Though I should say most witches do not prefer range combat, but some of them do carry pistols. Level 11 fighters now have extra attack ×2. You can now attack 3 times with a single attack action. You've reached character level 13, time to raise your proficiency bonus again to +5. Level 12 fighters earn another ability score improvement, raise your con for more health. Level 13 fighters gain a second use of Indomitable between long rests. Level 14 fighters earn another ability score improvement, cap off con. Level 15 champion fighters now have superior critical, allowing you to crit on 18, 19, or 20. You've reached character level 17. Your proficiency bonus is now maxed out at a +6. Level 16 fighters earn our final ability score improvement. Place this into intelligence to wipe out that negative, because your race teaches advanced astrophysics to preschool children. Though you probably didn't pay attention in that class, I'm pretty sure you had high marks in the knife class. Level 17 fighters get a whole lot of good at this level. You now have 2 uses of Action Surge between short or long rests, and 3 uses of Indomitable between long rests. Our final level is level 18 fighter, and champions are survivors. At the start of each of your turns, if you have no more than half your total HP and are not down to 0, you regain 5 plus your con modifier. Not a bad capstone for this build. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 10, Dex 20, Con 20, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 13, Charisma 12. Your total levels are Monk 2, Fighter 18. Let's dive in. You are just plain deadly and are deserving of the rank Succubus. There is no weapon you can't wield, and hell, there are very few weapons that you can't dual wield. You can make 90% of those weapons dex based, which means all those weapons are at a plus 11 and dealing plus 5. And you can attack 4 times wielding 2 weapons before you can action surge. You have an AC of 16, 17 when wielding 2 weapons, can make attacks against you at disadvantage, can heal yourself 1d10 plus 18 with a bonus action, and your overall health is over 200, taking the average. Downside. Last section was pretty short because you're just about fighting. That's it. Go forward and kill. This of course means you don't deal magical damage, but you'll get magical weapons at some point. You also have very limited resources with 2 key points, but you get those back after 30 minutes of sitting still. And you do have some one-off abilities that can only come back after a long rest. In all honesty, not a bad build. Yeah, you'll need magical gear, but who cares? You're a living weapon. Unleash the beauty of carnage and violence on the lower races of the galaxy and feed on the pain. Thank you for joining me today. Make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new build each week on YouTube and Spotify. Make sure to check out my Patreon where you can help decide next week's new build.